Managing Director of Paragon Trust Company and tax and private client practitioner, joins us to bring a common sense approach to money in a world of total insanity. Let's welcome Tony D'Angelo.
Tony's going to set things straight here. I've had a rocky start to a Tuesday morning. That's a rocky start mostly because of me. I was blaming technology, but the truth is it's mostly me. So Tony D is going to get us back on the right track. Tony, good morning, pal. How are you?
Good morning. Proud to be among you. After this, you can blame Tony D'Angelo. How's that?
That's a good idea. You know what? I will do that. I'll spend the next 45 minutes. Whatever goes wrong, I'll blame you. How's that?
Might as well. Anyway, I'm gonna. This is not the subject, but this is really kind of an interesting point. This is actually a subject in itself. Do you realize that the Seattle school system has made a decree that they have declared math to be racist?
I actually do know the story, but go ahead, tell everybody,
no, and
please.
It's just, when we get into the thing of intellectual obscenities, a Rutgers professor last week said that English was racist. And, I mean, that's a subject in and of itself, but it's like, if you don't have math and you don't have English and you don't have basic reasoning skills, you are lost in this world. And perhaps maybe this is where people want for you to be. They want for you to believe them. They want for you to believe anything they're saying. We keep hearing, follow the science, follow the science. Well, the science is good, but what about the math and the English? Because it has to reason into numbers, into logic, into statistics. And which kind of brings us to our lovely state and what's taking place. Of course, this past week we had the whole, which ain't going to be over yet, the Eversource debacle. The reliable power company. You'll hear a few curses if you're up in my neck in the woods about Eversource, and probably the loudest coming from me. But anyway, we've talked about the two nonprofits. Where the governor has said that Advanced CT is the replacement to CERC, the Connecticut Economic Resource Center, and life goes on and things are wonderful. Advanced CT, for the kids in the audience, that's where he holds his Connecticut meetings, or his reopened Connecticut meetings. And we found out last week that the Connecticut Economic Resource Center is still getting funding. And they got $25,000 this past week. They're supposed to be a dead charity, go figure. But the question I ask myself, again, math and English and logic and, whatever my pea brain can do is, how's Advanced CT getting money? Again, we're talking about Eversource. Now, on their own site, Leelsi, Advanced CT says that they pick up their funding through utility companies. Okay. And when you go to their board, back to the shameless thing, there's Greg Butler from Eversource and Thomas Rutledge from Charter Spectrum. It's right there. These people are also huge contributors to political parties. So when the political system comes out and says, "Oh, we got to stop this," some days I get the feeling that this is the bartender telling his best customer, the drunken dad, "Hey, go home to your wife for a night." It's that kind of thing. So here you are, the Connecticut citizen. Here I am, the folks in the audience. Money flows, and this is the whole thing. The ratepayer, I'm a ratepayer. That goes to Advanced CT. Now, money's being advanced, into this charity from Eversource, and it goes in. And where's the charity? Where's the economic development? There's a purpose involved. So, and the governor and his folks get to use that. Now, the taxpayers are funding, the Connecticut Economic Resource Center. And it's the same thing. So one's got you by one arm, the other's got you by the other arm. And the thing is that I've really got to start taking a look at this Advanced CT, because this is a charity that I don't think they're really doing anything charitable. I think it's entirely political purposes. To the extent they let you see the ball, and you've got to go digging for a whole lot else of it. But that's really my first point. You need math, you need English, you need to know how to reason people.
It's interesting. I got to go back because you struck a couple topics that we had talked about last week, and not to bounce all over the place, but I had mentioned that Rutgers study about wanting to change the writing class in particular over at Rutgers, the mindset behind that, and then because it's racist to ask somebody to actually either speak either eloquently or correctly or write eloquently or correctly somehow that's a disadvantage, which again, this is that culture that we live in right now, Tony, that is just, it coddles everybody and everybody gets a trophy. So I just wanted to comment on that real quick. But, we have people commenting already on what you had just said. Without math, there's no science. Without science, there's no math. So
well, and you know something, and I'm old enough, then again, I am really old enough. Go back to Dr. Harry Edwards. Dr. Harry Edwards was the social scientist out of Berkeley, probably, a black man. Most liberal guy on the planet back then, was radical, where he started doing these experiments with the 49ers as to team building and things like that, and they thought, oh, this is crazy, this guy is absolutely loony. He would come out and say, don't you dare get into quote-unquote Ebonics speak. Speak like we all should speak the same language, because that was the whole part of team building. I mean, it's
right. Insane. I totally agree with you 1,000%. What I got a question for you about Eversource, and maybe putting you on the spot. Don't know if you can answer this one. If you can, great. If not, no problem. I forgot to ask one of our state senators the other day, and well, actually, I did. One of the state senators told me this, and I forgot to corroborate it. So, Eversource has a built-in profit of 11%, I believe, right? So they get 11% on whatever it is, whatever kilowatt hour.
Oh yeah, captive market.
Right. So, I mean, can you imagine having a business where no matter what happens, you make an 11% profit? No matter what. Now, their CEO makes $7 million. All these other people are making X amount of dollars. But, when you're regulated to make that much money, I asked the legislator, why don't you guys go back in there and fight for 5%, 4%, 6%, whatever. 11%. Seems a little bit obscene. I don't know if you knew the answer to that.
Well, put it this way. I can offer a theory, and it goes back to one of my favorite things, racketeering. We've got 4 state senators who work for Eversource, and we've got a lot of political contributions, and we've got a lot of money flowing, and there's a lot of, even though they say, oh, we recuse ourselves from votes and things like that, for crying out loudly, Elsie, they are there. What are they there for? Is it because television got boring? It's absolutely, it is so, I hate to use the word incestuous. And really, you talk about drain the swamp, this is a good place to start.
Tony D is with us. We talk with him each and every Tuesday about a number of different things. He always brings great topics to the table, as he does, as he has again today. And I always appreciate his due diligence, and he just does a whole bunch of research, bringing it all to the table. Tony, I think, if folks out there want to reach you, how do they do that? Like, if they have questions for you, because a lot of things that you get into are pretty detailed, and I do from time to time get requests like, can you send me Tony's audio? Can you give me this? Is there a place they can find you?
Yeah, sure. You can always reach me at my email, fortresstrust@aol.com. And whatever it is, I am a guy who is in business, and I research things for the sake of my own people, and I'm not an author or a personality or anything like that, even though it would seem like it's kind of fun some days. Yeah, sure, that's the best thing to do, and the website is there, and you can always pick up a phone and call.
How about the governor? Since the last time we talked, he signed this police accountability bill, and he was on with Dr. Fauci yesterday. I don't know if you got a chance to see that, but I know you're not all that pleased most of the time with this governor, right?
Well, put it this way. I'm respectful of the fact that it's not an easy job, but again, it comes down to let's look to see what's happening here. There's something I know we'll probably have to wait till next week, but I want to tell the kids about called Easy Buy, another PPE LLC. I've been working with it here. I like to call it Sleazy Buy. $7.2 million spent. I can't find a trace or a trail, and when you wind the whole thing down, it winds up in a Lamont pocket. Again, math, English, reasoning. When somebody says, believe what I'm telling you, Reagan was right, trust but verify. Let me tell you, man.
So 7.2, you said?
7.2, yeah, and I think we're just getting started. I mean, I think the pitcher just threw his warm-up pitches. And when you actually get the numbers, when you actually see what's being spent, it all goes through the Department of Corrections. Don't ask me how, don't ask me why. That's another thing I'm really curious about. But the price for PPE per person in the state, I'll go through those logistics next week. It's like $3,000 a person.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, like, what the hell's going on here?
Are you kidding? Per mask, it's $3,000.
Well, per set of PPE. We worked that out. A set of PPE is $50 or so, with the mask itself being reusable, and that could be washed. You don't have to keep changing the mask, but the gowns and things you do.
Right.
But we'll get into that.
All right, pal. Listen, batten down the hatches. It's going to be windy today. A lot of rain.
Yeah, for certain. Watch them branches flying.
All right, buddy. Have a good one. Thank you, as always. You do a great job. Tony D, again, our pal, our good friend, our latest addition to the regular lineup, joining us here on Tuesdays, and we appreciate him. And he calmed me down, see? Now I'm focused. I'm ready to attack the rest of the show, so attack we will. By the way, the Facebook post is up. You guys can begin the comments. The hurricane is coming. We'll chat a little bit about that. And Bob Lazari will join us.